Hello, BookTube. It's Jane Austen July, and I thought I would do a ranking of all of Austen's leading men coming from a gay person. And so I feel like with that point of view, my choices will be really interesting. But I'm ranking all seven of her leading men because there's two in Sense and Sensibility. But yeah, so the criteria for these men is how they are in the book, how their personalities, what are their personalities, and would I go on a date with them? So that's the criteria. If I can pass all three, we're good. But this is very brutal. I had a lot of fun making this list. I've got my notes on the side because it's been a while since I've read some of these books, but I'm very excited because this was really fun. So, dead last for me is my least favorite leading man in Jane Austen, and that's Edmund from Mansfield Park. Edmund is so forgettable. I literally can't remember what he does. He, I don't know. I feel like Mansfield Park has the tag for being Austen's most underrated novel, but for me, there's so many dynamic and really interesting characters in Mansfield Park, and Edmund is just not that one. He is so boring, and I feel like Fanny deserved so much better than being stuck with Edmund. I would have been pissed if I was her, if that's what I got. Yeah, and I feel like Edmund, his personality, he's very like arm's length. He keeps away from everyone. He doesn't get close to anyone, and he just sucks. And I would so pretty much I would never go on a date with Edmund. He sucks. Don't. He's not my favorite. So next, we're going to Sense and Sensibility here, and next one we have is Edward. Now Edward for me is just boring and forgettable, kind of like Edward. Oh my god, Edmund. But Edward he's a bit more sweeter. He's a bit more charming. Like I can see what he's doing. The thing with Edward is that he's really not in Sense and Sensibility at all. He's kind of not there. So I really don't know where to rank him because he's just not there. But I feel like he is the sweet, and he does have moments where it's very enduring. But for me, I would go out with Edmund at the end at the end of the day. It's just that I feel like he needs a bit more of a self confidence boost, and I feel like I could be the one to help him with that. And I feel like I would go on a date with Edmund, so I need to process that. But next we have Brandon from Sense and Sensibility as well. He's very mature. He's very interesting. He's very much the most like one of the more gentlemanly like characters in Austen. He isn't really involved in the drama compared to everyone else in this book, but he really understands where everyone is coming from, and he gets it, and I like that. The only thing that makes Brandon a bit lower for me is that the age gap is so large in this book between him and the heroine. I just can't. And but in saying that, if we push that to the side and judge him as personality, I think I could get along with Brandon really well. Um, what else do I have to say? And I also do love how he's a book nerd too. He quotes books all the time. He loves to read poems. There's a scene where he's reading poems in the park, and it's lovely. And so, if it wasn't for the age gap, but I know that's different because that's not his personality, or maybe it is, but he's not my favorite. So we've got through the sensibility in Mansfield Park. Next, we have probably my most controversial one here. If I scroll down, okay, this is controversial, and I don't care, and that is Mr. Darcy from Pride and Prejudice. Now, Mr. Darcy, he is so iconic. He does everything, and literally for me, he is so rude. The way he talks about Elizabeth's family, for me, I would not like that if a man talks about my family like that. And I feel like if you confronted Mr. Darcy about his attitude, he would not change. He would not be self reflective. He wouldn't do that. And I feel like I can't vibe with that. And yeah, I feel like he's just got such a ego to him. But in saying that, I do like Darcy because he gives you like your own space. He isn't clingy like some other Austen characters, and I do respect that. But I feel like at the end of the day, I would go on a date with Mr. Darcy, just to say I have. But in saying that, I feel like we would not get along at all. I feel like there'd be words said, and I don't know if anyone deserves to hear that besides me and Mr. Darcy. But so Darcy for me is the middle. I really didn't want to put him dead last because there is some redeeming stuff about him. But for me, his ego and personality just we're not gonna vibe, and so he's a bit lower than you'd expect. Next, we have the faves. These are my favorite men in Jane Austen, and we're starting here with Captain Wentworth from Persuasion. He's the most interesting of Jane Austen's leads because of his background too, and he's I would also say he's Austen's most fleshed out character as well in terms of like the leading men. His background's interesting. He's just interesting, and he's in it for the long haul. He is here to stay. He is looking for marriage, and that's respectable. He's putting himself out there. He is very human. He does like to hold a grudge, and he doesn't forget what people say about him, and I respect that because that's very human as well. And he's also because of that, he's very angsty, and I can vibe with that. Um, but I will say what really boosts him up for me is that the letter he writes at the end of Persuasion, I can't even. It's so romantic, and he's just a romantic. He's so sweet, and I just love him to death. And but yeah, so we have Mr. Wentworth, and the only reason he isn't higher up is because there's so much competition in these next two novels. But yeah, Wentworth's really lovely. So if he wrote a letter to me, I'd cry. And so next we have Mr. Knightley from Emma. Now, Mr. Knightley, he's just lovely and charming. He knows who he is. He's got the confidence. I don't like how brutal he is and very harsh when he critiques Emma. Like I know um Emma kind of deserves some of it, but I don't think she does. And Knightley can be a bit brutal and a bit harsh for me personally. I honestly feel like in Emma, Knightley could have chosen anyone in that novel besides Emma, and it would have been perfect. He fits with every like every lead woman in the book. Like all the, I just love him. He's just so. I didn't even explain that right, but he just suits everyone in the book. He's easy to get along with, and I can vibe with that too. Um, what was I going to say in my notes? And I feel like Knightley is just one of Austen's probably more romantic characters. He's like butter. He suits. He just flows. He's lovely. So we have Knightley, then number one, and I'll be honest with number one. This man, this is probably the only one I can genuinely see myself getting along with, and that is Henry Tinley from Northanger Abbey. I know this is a bit of a hot take because some people don't like him, but he is just my absolute fave. He is so down to earth. He's just so easy to get. I can imagine him being so easy to get along with. He's so chill about everything. He's just amazing. His sense of humor is what puts him on the top of his list. I genuinely laugh out loud like I'm on a date when he talks. It is so sweet. He's just incredible. And he really suits being in Northanger Abbey because it is more of a light-hearted novel compared to all of Austen's other books. But for me, he also isn't clingy or sappy at all. Like compared to some of the other men we've talked about, he is just like you do your own thing, king or queen, and I respect that a lot because some of these men are clingy, and it's just really refreshing. I feel like out of all the men I would go on a date with who I've just mentioned, Henry will be the one that I hope will last really, and like not only hope will last, but it will be fun. I can guarantee I will have fun with Henry because he's just so down to earth. So that is my ranking of the men in Jane Austen. I know there were some hot takes in there, so let me know in the comments. How would you rank the men on Jane Austen's universe if you were to go on a date with them? This was very fun, and yeah, let me know what you thought about my ones in the comments below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching BookTube, and I'll see you next time.